What's good, Joe? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know I always keep it real. Let's get right into it, man. Now, I do have a different microphone right now. Bear with me. My Shure mic, the best mic in the game. Currently, having some technical difficulties, but best believe come next week, I'll be back to business. But y'all seen the title of this episode. Before y'all continue this episode, actually, if you are a Sixers fan, I made a video on Joel Embiid and him saying that he wants to get, or saying that Sixers fans want him traded. So be sure to tune into that, especially if you're in the NBA and are a Sixers fan. But this video is for my Eagles folks, for my NFL people, for my Cowboys fans that might be tuning into this. Let's get right into it. You seen the title of this episode? Micah Parsons throwing some shots, throwing some subliminals. You can just feel the tension. Well, the guy Micah Parsons, he was on Von Miller's podcast, and he had some words about, is this success that the Eagles have, is it because of Jalen Hurts, or is it because of the team? And I think Micah Parsons was throwing these shots to try and ruffle some feathers and to try and troll that guy on Jalen Hurts. But you are poking the wrong bear, Micah Parsons. Because Jalen Hurts, the guy who, lost his job at Alabama, went ahead, bet on himself, balled out at Oklahoma, and then got a spot as the backup quarterback for the Eagles, was never thought that he would be a starting QB over Carson Wentz, ends up winning the job over him, and basically ends up maximizing his opportunity, right? So this is not the guy that you want to play with in terms of trying to get him more motivated. Because Hurts is already motivated. He's already the last one, to leave. The first one in. You see him whenever they're up by a big lead, because the Eagles have been up by a big lead a lot this season. You never see him get cocky. You never see him get real boastful. He takes every game by one. This next weekend, who are we playing? We're going to play, was it the Giants? Or they just played the Giants last week. Whether it's the Jaguars, whoever. He takes every week, game by game basis. And he's so even killed. And that's what you need from a leader, right? So if you think that this is going to get a rise out of Jalen Hurts, or this is going to get him off his game, you are sadly mistaken. All this is going to do is give him more fire to believe, so I have 32 total touchdowns. I have only 5 turnovers in this whole entire season. I have a 68% completion percentage. Heck, I have a 70 QBR. And this is the first season I had with legit playmakers on offense. And this is what I'm doing. And people are still hating on me. Oh, bet. And I'm 12-1. And the only loss that we had wasn't my fault. Because let's just be honest, if Quez Watkins caught that 50-yard ball, I'm going to keep saying it, and did not get up trying to be a superhero and fumble that ball, the Eagles would have beat the Commanders that day, right? Nonetheless, I'm happy that they actually lost that game. But nothing from this season can make you say Hurts is being carried. And Micah Parsons needs to worry about his own quarterback. Because his own quarterback, since being back from injury, has the most interceptions in the NFL. This is a guy, he's got a great running game, a great defense, but he continues to turn the ball over. What does Jalen Hurts do that is very rare, especially for a young quarterback in himself? He does not turn the ball over. He has the best quarterback rating in the NFL. So it's not opinion. It's not me being an Eagles fan, a Jalen Hurts supporter, one of the first people to ever publicly support Jalen Hurts. It's not me being biased. It's just facts. Yes, two things can be true. The Eagles can be a damn good team, top to bottom. Defense clicking, offense clicking, special teams clicking. And Jalen Hurts can also be the MVP frontrunner. Two things, it's not like you can have it be like, all right, so Hurts is the MVP frontrunner and his team sucks. Or the Eagles are a great team and they're carrying Jalen Hurts. Like, it's not something to where it's like two things can't be true. Yes, two things can be true. The Eagles are great as a team, and Jalen Hurts is phenomenal as a quarterback. Like, I don't get what's the whole confusion about how, yes, you can be the best quarterback on the best team. Yes, that can happen. Just because he has a good team around him does not diminish him as a player. And the only reason why he has this good team around him is because he's on a rookie contract. And if you're only making $1 million a year, Howie Roseman would be a fool to not stack up the roster right now, given the years that you don't have to pay the guy in Hurts that much money. That is genius. That's what they tried to do with Dak Prescott in his rookie year. But he wasn't doing this. He was not doing this. Not doing this. He was not an MVP favorite. So worry about your own quarterback. Because the Eagles quarterback, he's cooking. And he going to remember what you said. Trying to sub him. Trying to diss him. Just voluntarily doing it. Like, all right, bet. All right, bet. Like, all right, bet. I bet you, like, Hurts seen that. And he was like, he chuckled to himself. He was like, all right, bet. And got right back to work. And probably didn't say anything about it afterwards. I bet you his teammates was probably coming up to him being like, hey, bro, you seen this? He was like, yeah, bro, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about our next opponent. Like, you were about the wrong stuff, Micah. Like, worry about your next schedule. Worry about who you got playing because y'all almost lost to the Texans, the worst team in the NFL. It took a 98-yard drive for y'all to beat them. That's on your defense. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I'm starting to, get annoyed at this criticism for Jalen Hurts. I mean, I have always been annoyed. And I've been the main one saying, give Jalen Hurts a number one wide receiver. Give him a playmaker on offense. See what happens. What happens? Well, let's actually go to Hurts' first year. Matter of fact, Jalen Hurts reminds me of a young Josh Allen. Josh Allen's still young, but in Josh Allen's first full year as a starter, he had 29 total touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a 58% completion percentage, and a 49 QBR. Jalen Hurts, in his first year as a starter, had 26 total touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 61% completion percentage, and a 54 QBR. Fairly similar. Second year as a starter after acquiring a number one wide receiver. This is with Josh Allen and the Bills acquiring Stephon Diggs, and Jalen Hurts and the Eagles acquiring A.J. Brown. Josh Allen put up 45 total touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a 69% completion percentage, and 76 QBR. Jalen Hurts, he has 32 total TDs, 3 interceptions, 68 completion percentage, and 70 QBR. So what is it? If you give your young QBs playmakers And I'm not talking about like some like a second number two wide receiver. I'm talking about a bona fide number one wide receiver. Watch what they do. What's happening with Tua? They said he was a bust. Come this year, he's cooking. With what? A number one wide receiver in Tyreek Hill. So how about y'all, actually like look at these young quarterbacks and be like, I'm not gonna assess them until I see that they have some actual weapons. They have some legit weapons. And the first year Jalen Hurts has a legit weapon, he's in the MVP conversation. Like the fact that he's even in the conversation when he was a plus 18,000 to win before the season started speaks to how well he's played. Because best believe if he wasn't playing that good, he would not be in the MVP convo. Like it wouldn't be something to where it's like, okay, just because he's the quarterback of the best team, we're gonna make him the MVP favorite. No, it took until week 14 of the NFL season when the Eagles have been cooking everybody all season long for people to finally believe, okay, Jalen Hurts is the favorite. And this is after a guy in Mahomes throws 3 picks and almost gives up a 27-0 lead. That's all I'm going to say, bro. Like, let's not try to diminish Hurts. Act like he ain't been putting in his work. Because he been putting in his work. Flat out. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Let me know what you think about Jalen Hurts and Micah Parsons. With that being said, y'all, I'm out.